Welcome to Beerstories from Beerstory Brewhouse. In this grain to glass video, I'm going to show you how I brewed my huge double mashed Imperial Stout, which is also the one I put in these barrels. This is a double mashed Russian Imperial Stout on 14.4% ABV. So it's a huge stout and it tastes amazing, I promise you. Full of chocolate, rich, sweet, powerful, and so many layers of flavor in there. This beer is also the one I put in these barrels from Bad Motivator Legacy barrels, and I'm gonna age it for about a year and gonna compare it to the same beer here. I actually saved some of these beers and yeah, I'm gonna test them side by side with two different barrels and the original one in a year. But for now, I'm just gonna show you how I brewed this huge stout. First thing, it's double mashed, so you have to be willing to do the work to double mash, but it's not really that hard. There's a video down in the description on how I do my double mashes, but basically split your batch in two, spudge in between, not with hot water, but just with water just to get up the water levels to the right amount again, and then mash one more time. But down in the description there's a video on how I do that in details. So this is my Bad Motivator Legacy Barrel Imperial Stout. Oh, this smells so fantastic. So much chocolate going on here. So the vitals, it's 14.4% ABV. Original gravity was 1135. Final gravity 1025. EBC, so it's pitch black, and you can also see the foam is pretty dark too. So this is just a dark beer. EBC is 140. IBUs 56. Is not that bitter. It's kind of the range where I like them. So if you want it to be less sweet, add more hops. If you want it to be more sweet, more pastry-like, add less hops. It's not really balanced. If you see the bitterness unit to gravity unit, you can see it's actually pretty low. So it is a sweet beer, but yeah, it's perfect. It's not too sweet for me, and it is not sweet. It is just a perfect beer. So going in for fermentables, 36% pale malt maris otter and 18% pilsner malt. This is just to bring in some the maris otter brings in some, in a good way, some doughy maltiness, some breadiness that I think the pilsner malt doesn't, but not to make it too much, I've added about 18% pilsner malt. 7% aroma malts, 7% crystal malts, 150, crystal 150, 7% Munich light, 7% wheat malts, about 3.5 to 4% Carafa Special 1, the same for Carafa Special 2, the same again, Special B, also about 4%, Melanoidin, also about 4%, and then a little bit of roasted barley, about 2%. So this beer is not that roasted, but I would recommend you to still age it for about 3 months, because the kind of harsh roasted flavors will mellow out after 3 months, and just bring everything together. So I really recommend you to wait for 3 months. It's a pretty advanced grain bill, but don't skip anything here, because this is really how you layer in all the flavors and make it a complex, rich beer. So so do the work and get all the malts correct. I added in 14 grams. I write up here somewhere what that is in ounces, but around 7 IBUs in the mash to prevent it to oxidize down the line, so actually to prolong the shelf life of this strong beer. And then I boiled it for 2 hours with 16 grams or equivalent to 50 IBUs of Magnum. There's no late addition because it's a beer that was brewed to go in the barrels and be aged. So late additions, hops, that doesn't matter. 5 packages of US 05 yeasts. I pitched it at 7 degrees Celsius and then slowly raised it up to 19 on day 3, and then I let it ferment for 7 days, and then I ramped up the temperature again for diacetyl rest for 7 days, and then just barrel aged it for about a year, just at room temperature. You can see videos on how to do all the barrel aging stuff on the channel as well. So it's a pretty standard mash, 65 degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit up here somewhere. Just do it 2 times. Yeah, and I guess basically that was it. The water profile is just, it's just a pretty balanced water profile. Chloride, sulfate, the same. Pretty high in calcium. But you can, you need enough minerals in here, especially enough calcium for the yeast also to have some nutrition and so on. So but just a balanced profile, nothing too crazy. And I guess that was it. As I said, I have put this beer in these 2 barrels. They are different char and different toast, and I'm gonna compare it in a year to the original beer. But this beer, the aroma is just full of chocolate, a little bit of mild, soft coffee, a little bit of caramel. Bready prunes or dates or raisin. What's that? Something like that. It's just layered in with aromas and flavors. And you get all those flavors from the aroma. They're all there. It's a beautiful beer. It's round, it's mild, it's really powerful. It's not boozy. It's not boozy at all. But that is because of how I fermented it. Use enough yeast, started off at a low temperature, and slowly raise it up. It's really important, otherwise you'll get boozy flavors. But this beer is just magnificent. It's so easy to drink. I can't believe it's 14.4%. Of course, you can feel the warmth in your mouth from the alcohol, but it's not boozy. It's just really, really amazing, and it almost have this pastry chocolate cake thing to it. I bet if you would lower the hops by half, you will get a pastry feel out of this. You'll get a pastry stout. I wouldn't change a thing to this recipe. Actually, I'm just gonna shut off the video now, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of that beer because it's fantastic. So if you have any questions, write to me. Other than that, just have a happy brewing out there.